This is Adam. Adam was a privateer working a 9-to-5 job to finance his passion for racing bikes. Last year, parts and training helped him get way faster, but success doesn't happen overnight. This year, his program has been turned up to 11 with full factory support. Will he be able to break into the pro ranks? We're about to find out.
Here's a piece from Music Review. The difficult second album syndrome. The fetishism of newness explains why 9 of the 12 Mercury Prizes to date have been awarded to first albums. When a debut receives more praise than its creator can bear, they're headed for a fall. At the end of a season, you normally decompress and chill out and go riding for fun, like unstructured fun riding. And I obviously finished the season with an injury. Like, your hand is a fairly important part for riding, like grip strength, everything. It definitely took way longer than I thought to like do all the physio and rehab on my hand. I got back into training pretty quickly, and like that's something I'd never done before, is like actually started training in October. We got the new bike, it all came together in February and went off to the Fox camp, and we basically ended up changing every part of the bike. I think a skill is basically applied knowledge, and I learned there was so much knowledge I learned from last year, and like you need to apply that. So you need to go to the races, and you need to, like, you can know so much, but then you need to actually gain experience and apply that knowledge, you know?
We went to Sea Otter, obviously not the best result. What kind of happened in that? Can you explain to the audience a little bit what happened there?
I'm super busy at work because I've got to set up all these ad campaigns for these brands that are at Sea Otter, because they're like, right, now's the time to go. So I was quite busy heading into it, and I don't know what happened, but like honestly, I was bonking in the practice. You know, I wasn't really that concerned with the result. I just wanted to like go get those initial race nerves out the way, and also like get used to the bike. Like I wasn't that worried about the result. I got back from Sea Otter, and then I went down to Seattle to do a race, because that was a race I came second at 6 months ago, nearly the same course, and I ended up coming 15th. 2 races which, although they're insignificant, and like the whole goal is to sort of peak at the end of the year because we're riding up to the end of the year, but they were still a huge blow in my confidence, you know. Particularly, I felt like, you know, I went to the Fox camp before these races, and like had a good setup, and definitely felt like I was going to be doing a lot better. I was hopeful a lot better at those those races. I tried to do everything by the book in training leading up to it. Like, I think it was fine last year to do the results and whatever that I did, and because no one had any expectations, and then I think everyone has more expectations for me to step it up this year even more, right? Honestly, I felt amazing before Sea Otter, and I felt amazing in like September last year. And there's certain times in my training and stuff, I honestly felt amazing. And again, coming into these races later in the year, I was just pretty over it, I guess, or pretty tired. Me and everyone probably had higher expectations for it, you know, and yeah, I was definitely probably riding not as fast as I would have liked. So yeah, Whistler and North Star, they were both within sort of 2 weeks of each other, really, so you're not going to drastically improve by the time I got to North Star. So, and I was quite happy really to do a slightly better result in North Star. But yeah, I honestly had fun, and like it went pretty well, really. Like I rode solid, and just being at some of these races like that, you kind of see the pace that everyone's going, and you're like, oh shit, like gotta step it up.
Do you read like the comments on Pinkbike and YouTube?
So I did for a while there. and a lot of them were pretty savage this year. I remember the training one, like people were tearing me apart, like saying I looked fat or like out of shape and like bad technique and stuff like that. And that video, I think we filmed it in like February. 3 months later when it came out, it's like I'm a different person. Like I've been riding more and been to races and stuff like that, and like I'd already like moved on from that and learned from that. And then, you know, 3 months later, I'm bringing all that up again, like my performance there, and people are giving me shit on the internet. And yeah, it was pretty brutal, particularly for the confidence and stuff like that. And like last year, it was overwhelming, like how positive everyone was, and it was almost unheard of in Pinkbike history for there not to be like trolls. I've been guilty of being jealous of people on media, and like it's actually amazing to see behind the scenes how like you see someone's bike and it's immaculate, right? But like they've just got a new bike, they only get like one new bike a year, it's all been cleaned or whatever for the race that's coming up, there's a picture of it, and you just assume that they're getting paid well and all these athletes have everything dialed, right? But I was surprised, like I found out like how much some people make, and it's a lot less than I expected, and it's definitely a lot smaller than I thought. And the depth of riders that are actually making a living from this is a bit smaller than I realized. And just scrolling through Instagram and looking at these YouTube videos, it almost you know, breeds the jealousy and sort of the negativity. But then I talk to other people and I get amazing feedback, and they're like, loved it, like it's helped me out so much, like it's really helped my racing. And we really like shared a lot of amazing information which people didn't have before. What did I read somewhere, you are what you do. And like some of these top guys, they're incredibly talented and they're amazing, right? But they're doing things which we're not doing, like they obviously dedicated their life to getting better at this sport, and they're, you know, eating well, training well, stretching, like riding loads. I strongly believe that like there's so much training you can do around a full-time job, but I think the difference is like the quality of it. I think there's loads of amazing riders out there that could do with support and recognition, and this isn't meant to take away from them, and it's a social experiment, yeah, and it's never been done before. To say someone is or isn't the right guy for this series is, you know, it's up to you to judge that. I tried my best and put as much into it as I could, and you know, you don't know how it's going to work out, and that's the thing with racing is like, you do all this preparation and stuff, and like you don't know how it's going to go until you do the race. And that's what's so exciting. What's next for me? Oh, you know, I think probably gonna do a bit more riding for fun, and yeah, I'll definitely be racing next year for sure.